talk a little bit about tackle management, tackle storage, because frankly that's one of the issues that I deal with every year, and every year it seems to be a little bit bigger problem for me almost, because it seems like every year I acquire a little more tackle. But it's one of those things that we all deal with, and a real challenge. And the more organized and more efficient you can be with your tackle storage, again, the more time you can actually spend fishing. And so I'm going to talk about some of the things I use and what I feel works best for me, and hopefully it'll help you out here a little bit. And I'm going to start and just show you a couple things. This is actually from my boat. This is actual Plano 3700 box. It's what they call their waterproof series, the red series. This is my bottom bouncer setup that I use in the boat, and you'll see in there's a whole bunch of variety of different weights, and then there's also a bunch of the actual bottom bouncer wires, and this makes for a real nice, neat system that keeps everything nice and organized and dry, which is really good, because here's all my wires that fit in there, and then these weights that go anywhere from 1 ounce up to 3 ounces that I can, different colors, so I can change them out. But it's the best system I found. I can put all these things in there, keep them nice, organized, clean and dry. That's one of the things. I also use the same system for a bunch of Fintech tech stick rigs that I use that are kind of like Lindy sinkers. My jigs, I have a whole pile of these Plano 3600 series boxes that are sold at the North 40 here, like this. They got different dividers you can kind of split up. This is my one that I use for my Kit's Tackle glass jigs. I actually have these. I've got the Rick's jigs in one. I've got a couple of these with the Kit's Tackle, the glass minnows. I've got these for my Northland Thumper jigs. I basically have one of these for every different style of jig that I like to use. And then what I'll do is I'll separate the colors and also the sizes. So I go from an 1/8 to a 1/4 to a 3/8 ounce. But again, it makes for a real nice thing. And then what I typically do, you'll see that I label them like this. I put down Kit's glass jigs on there, so when I look into my storage compartments on my boat, I can grab the right box a whole lot easier. The other thing that I found over the years that I use is the same Plano 3700 box for my crankbaits, and you'll see here these are my this is one box of my number 6 Berkley flicker shads, which is really one of my favorite crankbaits. Again, you'll see I label it, and it's kind of wore off a little bit, you'll see here, but I've also written on there what the color names are. So if I get down to where I'll generally have 3 or 4 of each thing in each compartment, but if I get to run it down and I need to replace it, I can remember what the name of it is. The other thing, if you take a note here, is I actually pasted on the inside here the dive curve charts that come off, so you can actually, with this number 6 flicker shad, you can look here and say that if I want to get down with fire line and I want to run 10 feet deep, that I would have to put out about 40 foot of line to be able to get that crankbait down to 40 foot. So it makes for a real nice organized system for storing these things. And the same thing, I'll label these number 6 flicker shads with a permanent marker, so that it makes it easy to grab the right box that I decide I want to use. Now, for most of my other rigging and tails, I actually use several of these Berkley little bags like this, and I'll fill this up. One bag might have a whole pile of Berkley ripple shads in it. One of them might have my Keitech fat impacts. I use one of these for each different thing, and the same thing is that I can label them so that I can see when I look into the storage in the boat that this one has my ripple shads in it, and it makes for a real nice system. Keeping things organized and easy to find. Now, if I'm using the Berkley Gulp Live, which has got the solution to it, I use a number of these things like this that I'll put into another container, but I'll fill even what I take out of those bags and dump it into one of these that's got that Gulp Alive solution, and let it just soak in there, and that makes it more effective as far as catching fish. And then just take the top off and grab whatever tail that I want, and I generally do that by size. Like I'll put 4" in one and 3" in one and 2.5" in the other, and then I've got probably half a dozen of these in another basic storage compartment bag, and just stack them in there so I can grab what I want. It works really, really well. The other thing that I like to use a lot for little things were these Max Lure Pips boxes. And what I'll do with these, and you can see here in this case I've tied up some Phelps floaters here. What I like about these is I can tie up several of these, stick them in there with a leader tied onto them, and basically what you do is you just grab it and then just pull the leader out. But they're all pre-tied, so I don't have to be messing around when I'm out there in the boat trying to catch fish to actually tie one of these things up, because they're kind of a pain to tie up a little bit. So what I do then when I want to change is I'll just take this, and again you'll see this has got about a 3-foot leader on it. Just there's no knot or whatever, so I can adjust my length. But you stick this back in a little cork that's inside that box, stick the hook in there, lay the line down into the little slot that's here. The lid has a little key to it, so you just put that key and then you just twist it up. And it's a really neat system. It's actually designed for, I think, the salmon fishermen and the steelhead fishermen out west, but I found that it works really well for keeping a number of things like this really organized and put together. So you'll see I do that, and I'll use different colors. There's some more Phelps floaters there. The other thing I like to use, again, for tails would be like the Berkley bag like this. This is real similar to what I use for my tackle tamers. Just a compartment where you can actually fill these with different color tails as well. So you, again, keep them nice and neat and organized and easy to find, which makes my life a lot simpler and I make it a lot nicer. This right here is my Tangle Tamer with all my pre-tied snells. It's one of my favorite ways to organize these kind of things, and again you can kind of see that I tie up a variety of different combinations, and I put them in these little plastic sleeves like this so that I can sort through here, and there's gold and orange and little spinning glows. It's just, again, you can do whatever you want to your imagination. These are some walleye pops here, which are Max Lure, which are really good at times. It's amazing the fish I've caught on those things. Here's some chartreuse and silver colors. Again, it's limitless to what you want to do. These are some of my slow death rigs right here. And what I really like about these things, and why it makes it so easy, if I pull one of these out of the compartment, and you'll notice from we talked earlier, there's my little barrel swivel on there. You pull this out and you just kind of let it swing down, and then it all unravels nice and neat. And it's by far the best system I've found for keeping things organized. And then I just have to remove my hook and I'm ready to tie it on and go fishing. So, whatever you can do to simplify your life and organize things in a boat, and it seems like, for me anyways, it doesn't seem like I can buy a big enough boat to haul all the tackle that I want, but it's like, I imagine to get it filled up pretty much every year, and it's really nice to have things organized in place where I can find them, and something that's quick and easy to get out and use, so that I am willing to be a little more flexible and experiment a little bit, give the fish a little bit of a choice as to tell me what it is they really like, and I can guarantee you that's going to put a few more fish in your boat. If you got any questions or need any further information, just stop by any of the North 40 Outfitters stores or check the website at north40.com. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you again. Thanks.